Ever, ever, hold on, never mind. Oh,
Hi everyone, and welcome back to Sammie's Pressure King Pro recipe group channel. So today we're going to be making our first meal in the PKP. Now this isn't my first meal, I am simply doing this to help other people follow the walkthroughs and things. So yesterday when we did our initial setup and our first clean, we were using the 3 litre model. Today I'm going to be using my 6 litre model purely because it's a bigger capacity. I'd like to show you the different settings that come with this machine. There is an extra item that comes within the machine as well. So I'm going to get these together and I'll be back in a second and I'll show you exactly what we're going to do next. Okay, so these are your accessories that come with the 6 litre PKP. Now inside, as every other machine, you get a spoon, a measuring cup that measures in millilitres and cups. You get the lovely recipe book, but I keep doing this, I need to stop. It's all touchscreen, you see. And we also get one of these. Now this doesn't come in the 3 litre model. This is what's known as the Trivet, or as a lot of other people call it, the steaming basket. Now one of the bad things about this is when you put it into the PKP, 2 handles either side, when you put it in, if you put any weight onto that, it goes straight through. So let's say like today we're going to be doing potatoes and we're also going to be doing some chicken for a chicken salad dinner. So we're going to show you a few tips and tricks that you can do with your machines to help enhance the performance and the durability and different things ranging inside the PKP that will make things a bit better for you as a user. So I'm going to go and get my foil, as you will see in the next part. That's one of our tips and tricks, and we'll see you in a minute. Okay, so I'm back with my foil. So one of the tips and tricks that we use with the 6 litre, 5 litre and even the 3 litre when people use different trivets, especially this one that came with High Street TV, which is where I got my products from. They only came in the 5 and the 6 litre. So I'm going to show you the best way to help keep this thing up in the air whilst you're cooking, because otherwise your potatoes will end up on top of your chicken inside your water, which means that it's going to be super soggy. So what I'm going to do is I am going to get about that much foil and we're just going to tear it off, and you're going to pop that one to the side and then do the same again. So you're going to need 2 sheets of foil. Doesn't matter about how you rip it, you get 2 sheets. So then what you're going to do is you're going to take your trivet and you're going to place it on top of the foil. And then what you're going to do is you're going to literally just go around the entire trivet and you're just going to push the edges into the side on the foil, like so, all the way around until you end up with something that looks like this. Looks a bit silvery, but it works. So that's your first layer, and then you're going to do the exact same again, making sure that the top bit is open. Again, same way, get your foil, go all the way around the outside. Like so. Now, I don't tend to do this usually and it works just fine for me, but it's dependent on you and how you feel about things. But what a lot of people tend to do is they'll just get a sharp knife and obviously hold your foil and just make a few little poke marks in the slats that go around the centre of the trivet, purely just for the fact of steam getting through the top and the bottom, just so that the steam circulates throughout the whole of the trivet all the way around. I'm just going to finish up doing this, and that just means now that there's lots of nice pretty holes on the back. So then PKP, what you will do, let me just move you this way a little. So what we're going to do is simply place the trivet as you normally would inside your PKP, which now gives you a very, very, very snug fit. So I'll just turn the camera around and I'll show you how this looks inside. So inside the PKP now, as you can see, this is how it looks. And as you can see, very, very, very sturdy. It's not going anywhere. And the way members have tested this is by putting a 4 pint of milk onto the trivet whilst the foil's in place, and it has kept it perfectly in place. So that's one of the tips and tricks that we're going to show you today on how to use your PKP should your trivet be falling down. So now we're going to get into the cooking side of things, and we're going to come back with potatoes and frozen chicken and show you how to make boiled potatoes and chicken in your PKP. Okay, so I'm just going to show you the settings on the PKP, because this one is a different one. This is a 6 litre. So as you can see, this one has a dial, and I'll apologise in advance because it beeps every time that you turn the dial. So on this settings we have cereals, pasta, rice, crispy, pizza, egg, yoghurt, jam, meat, fish, stew and soup, vegetables, bake, cake. We also have keep warm, pressure cook, slow cook, multi-cook and time, temperature delay, steam, fry and start. Now you control all of these settings by simply turning them, or you can press on the touch screen and that will turn to keep warm, and it'll just turn on and off. So today we're going to be doing frozen chicken in the bottom of your PKP pot with potatoes on the top on the trivet. So I'm going to show you now what you need to do. So inside of your PKP pot, you're going to take out your trivet that you've just already prepared. And what we're going to do, I've simply got 4 pieces of frozen chicken. It's just Iceland's own, and it's just frozen. So what you're going to do is you're going to pop them into the bottom of the PKP dry to start with. So there's 4 pieces now in my PKP pot, and all we're going to do is add water to the minimum line. Now it's very essential that with whatever dish that you're creating, you must always have water or some form of liquid to come up to the minimum line with the PKP. Those are the guidelines. I've never tried it without that, and I don't think I'd want to be honest. But that's how you prepare the chicken. Simply sit it in the bottom. You could have put vegetable stock in, you can put gravy granules, you can put beef stock, you can put chicken stock, any kind of stock that you want you can put in the bottom. You can use different kinds of sauces, jarred sauces and packets. But just because I'm doing this very quickly and putting it on to keep warm for later for my dinner, because I'm doing a chicken salad with boiled potatoes, I'm just using this for demonstration purposes. So water in the bottom, up to the minimum line, and chicken in the top. I'll be back in a moment with the potatoes. Okay, so the next step is to simply pop your trivet in the top of your 6 litre or 5 litre or 3 litre. Sorry, I should say that this recipe is adaptable in all machines, exactly the same timings, exactly the same procedure. Now if you don't have one of these in your 3 litre, or you're struggling with just the foil around your PKP trivet in the 5 or 6 litre, on our group on Facebook, which is Sammie's Pressure King Recipe Group, which will be in the comments below, should you wish to join us. We have tons of accessories that so many members have found so much easier to use and to replace this trivet. So do head on over there and let us know if you've come via the YouTube channel, because we'll be sure to give you a shout out. So trivet back in the top, as I said, and here's my potatoes just chopped up. They're washed and they're ready to go in. So all we're going to do is, this is what I do. So I do the bowl of potatoes, and then I take a sheet of foil, and I'll tell you why I'm doing it this way. I then sit it in the top of my trivet, like so, and then I'm going to pour my potatoes inside of that foil. And then what you're going to do is you're going to seal the foil with a gap either side, and I'll show you in just one second how we've done it. to create a little handle at the top, but also with a little gap, just so that the steam can still get into the potatoes. So I'll be back now and I'll just show you how this is set up. Okay, so as you can see, I've made myself a little foil handle to lift it off, and I've just put the potatoes just inside a foil basket is what we call this. So the reason that we do this is because when you're cooking multiple things, so in the pressure cooker, potatoes can vary between 4 to 6 minutes to 8 minutes, depending on the amount that you're doing. Now these will be about 6 minutes because of the amount that I've got in there. So if I put this on to steam for 6 minutes, the potatoes will be done. But because we're going to have to put it onto meat, because we've got meat in the bottom, we don't want these to get too mushy. So we foil them up, make sure that they're sealed nice and tight, with a little bit of a gap to make sure that the steam can still get to it to cook it. And that way everything's nice and safe. So now we're ready to put this on. So I'll come back in a minute and I'll show you exactly what to do next. Welcome back. So now that we've got the lid on the 6 litre, again, we have the same things as we did yesterday. So we have the valve that sits up, down for closed and up for open. So that's open and closed. And we also have the red float valve again in the back here. We have a plastic cup on the back, which I can't seem to get off mine for the minute, which collects any condensation, any water residue that comes off the machine, and it just collects it in the bottom of that, which can be removed. Mine's just been stubborn. So to get this started, we're going to turn the dial and we're going to set it to meat. I'm just going to bring you down here to show you. So this is my machine. So we're going to, on the 5 litre and the 3 litre, you'll notice that your zeros go round and round when the pressure's building. With this, you have to press start. So we'll turn it back to meat, and it'll be preset at 13 minutes. But we're going to just adjust that a little, and we're going to put it up to 14 or 15 minutes. This is how I do my chicken and my potatoes together, but people don't have to follow these guidelines. These are what I've adapted my own recipes. But yeah, actually let's put it back down to 13, and then we can show you in a bit should we need to check it and how to re-put it back on if that is the case. So what we're going to do, turn the time to 13. Now should you want to amend that time, you just press time and you turn the dial. And that beep is really annoying. So once that's done, ensuring your valve is closed, simply press start. So now you can see that on the 6 litre, it says heating at the top, then it will say building pressure, then it will say cooking, and then it will say finished, or keep warm, I think it says warm. So once these steps are complete, we'll come back and I will show you what to do next. So as you can see now, it's now saying starting pressure. So the temperature has reached what it should, so it's heated up already, and then it's now starting its pressure. So once the pressure's built, I'll show you that on the cooking function. So this is now the end of it building its pressure, and it should lock off very, very soon. That has now locked off, and then momentarily that will now click on to cooking, and the timer should start counting down. So as you can see now, it now says cooking at the top. It's on meat and it's on for 13 minutes. So we'll come back when there's about a minute left on and we'll show you what to do once it's finished. Okay guys, so we've got about 3 minutes left on the PKP now. As you can see behind me, I have already prepared lettuce, tomato and cucumber on a plate. As I say, we're doing this as a chicken salad with potatoes. Now one thing about this meal is, as you will see on my plate for the Slimming World optioners, that there is a hell of a lot of speed on that plate. All of that is good for you. This is, I think, a sin-free meal. Potatoes, I believe, are free, and chicken, if it's not got any skin on, is also free, which mine hasn't. So this would be a sin-free meal for anyone that is on Slimming World. So once we've finished making this food and we've let out the steam, what we're going to do is we're going to tell you one more trick, or tip, should I say, for the PKP. And what we're going to try and aim to do is get about 2 tips in every video. So first of all, we did the first tip of the trivet on how to keep it up and stop it falling in and ending up in the water. And the next tip is, if you should get your lid stuck, which so many members have. I mean, my mum she got hers stuck twice in like a week because she didn't align it properly. And it's a very, very, very common thing, and so many people panic. They're like, I've got a chili con carne stuck in the bottom and I can't get it out. Please help. But there is simply a very easy trick. I must stress, it is not made to do when you are, if you're not an advanced user, or if you are cooking and the machine is hot. Don't do it until the machine is fully cooled down and you are absolutely sure that all of the pressure has gone out of the valve. Now, I take no responsibility for anyone that does this method, but this is the way that we have found for it to work. Other than that, there's no other way other than prizing the top open, probably with a crowbar, and that's not going to work. So we're going to leave it at that for now. The machine is actually on 1 minute remaining, so I'm going to leave this VT running and we'll see. You'll hear the machine. This is different to the normal PKP. This goes bing bong, bing bong, bing bong. So once that's done, that's how we know this machine's done. And then we'll begin loosening out the steam, and we will show you how well our potatoes are done. Okay, so that's ready. So I'm just gonna go ahead and put on the extractor fan and then get things ready, and I'll be back in a tick. So as you're going to hear, the steam is very, very hot. I'm now just pushing it away from me and loosening the steam out with my extractor fan above the steam. As you can see, the steam's coming away a lot. If you haven't got an extractor fan whilst doing this, please be very, very careful. So now I have literally let go of my machine. I've set my valve to open and letting the machine do the rest. This is now integrating all the steam into the system and getting rid. So in a minute, you can now hear that the machine is now open. So I'll remove the lid because obviously there's a bit of excess water that drips from the board. So I'm going to open the machine and I'll be back in a minute. Okay, so as you can see, the potatoes are fully cooked. They're a bit moist. That means that they're done very, very nicely. So I'm going to lift this up and pop it straight into a colander. And now I'm just going to get out the trivet because this thing takes a lot of hard work. I'm going to take this out and then I'll show you the chicken underneath. Okay, so I will say one thing about my pot. It's not the most perfect. There are scratches, there are marks, there are all sorts on this. But that's because I didn't realise that I weren't allowed to use metal spoons. But I prefer metal spoons because I don't like the feel of wooden. Now I know silicone's there as well, but yeah. Anyway, so the chicken is fully cooked. You'll find that it is so juicy, and once you take it out, you will literally see it shred and fall apart. So I'm going to transfer this into an oven-proof dish just to show you the finished product, and then I will come back to you in a minute. So as you can see, we've got fully lovely cooked chicken, and if we just cut into this one a bit one-handed, you'll see no pinkness whatsoever, and the chicken is fully cooked. So I'm going to plate this up and then I'll come back and then I'll show you the final thing, which is our tip on how to get your lid off should your pressure cooker get stuck. Okay, so there you can see I've now got two finished products: potatoes, lettuce, tomato, cucumber and chicken. This is a very healthy, tasty and sin-free dinner that you can have should you wish to. I'll be back in a minute with our final tip and trick of the day. Just bear with me a minute. Okay, so we're back now with our final thing. So a lot of people tend to get their machine lid stuck because the alignment isn't lined up properly. So I'm going to show you a nice easy way to make sure that your lid comes free and that your food that is stored in the bottom can still be edible, and is ready in a matter of minutes. So you'll find that your pressure, you've let all of your pressure out and it's sizzled away, and think, great, now it's time to open the machine. You get to your machine and that's not doing anything, it's literally stuck solid. So what you're going to do is, and I can't stress enough, you must always make sure that you are an advanced user doing this, or you are sure that all of the pressure has come out of the machine fully. So what you'll do is, ever so slightly, lift the handle, just so you can just see it moving. Lift the handle and very hard and very fast turn it back and side. Now I can't do it very well with this machine because mine isn't stuck, hopefully anyway. So mine's not stuck, so I'm just going to show you very quick the motion that you need to do. So you lift up and twist. So literally you'll lift up and you'll get ready to go this way and go and shoot it off. It will appear very hard to do, but if my mum can do it in a space of 2 times in a week, then you can do it. So I hope that you've enjoyed the video today. So this has been a chicken salad dinner, slim and world friendly. You've seen a few tips and tricks. This is our first meal in the 6 litre PKP. Should you wish to buy one, I will put a link down below to Amazon and where you can buy one from. I will also put the link down in the comments as to what our link is to the recipe group. Remember, if you do join us, feel free to let us know that you've joined via our YouTube link. Keep subscribing, keep commenting, keep liking and sharing the videos. Give us a few tips that you would like to see answered, or anything that you would like, if you've got any questions, anything like that that you want answering, pop them in the comments below and I'll be sure to make sure that we get them read out on the next stream and we will get those questions answered the best that we can. So thank you very much for once again joining Sammie's Pressure King recipe channel, and I will see you in the next video. Bye bye.
Anything means forever, ever, or to never mind. Oh,